once again, 6 blocks apart. This show is going to be a tad different. Now, when we first started this some time ago, I think we've got almost 20 episodes in the can now. Every now and again, somebody would slip in a question. This got kind of put into a separate little pile and forgotten about up until now. So what we're going to do on this show is deal with all of the questions. We're going to read out the names. If your question was stupid, then you're going to look stupid. And, well, there you go.
And you all are our guests tonight.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Teresa, where'd you grow up? What did you want to do?
I grew up in Northern California. The first part of my childhood, I grew up in a little small town called Newark, California.
Oh.
And when I was 11, we moved to Fremont, California. And I lived there until I moved to Los Angeles when I was 25, probably 25, yeah. When I was little, I really loved science.
Oh.
So, yeah, I love science. And I always thought in my head that I'd like to be a science teacher.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, my family didn't have a lot of money, and I really wasn't that great in school. So it was kind of a dream that would never happen because I didn't have the money to go to college.
Oh. Oh.
So that's my little story.
What year did you move to LA, Teresa?
86 or 87?
We met in 86.
86.
But you weren't
We were
living
probably
here
at some of
No,
the
I
same
wasn't living
places.
here when we first were dating.
No, but if you were in LA back then, we were probably at some of the same places.
Oh, no doubt because I used to go to Rage every Monday night.
Me too. That was alternative night. Remember? With the
Yeah.
alternative music. And I would.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I wish we had like something to watch over at that
I
time.
know. I'm sure we danced on the dance floor on Monday night.
But you
That was my
said
favorite night.
didn't you tell me you lived on Sweetser?
Yes.
Well, I lived on Fountain Avenue in Sweetser.
And I lived with Cheryl in Sweetser. We rented
Well,
a
I
condo.
mean, when I first moved to LA, I lived at the very top of Fuller Avenue. What's that park right there? Or not park, but where everybody hikes?
Oh,
It used to be the old estate of Errol.
yeah.
Earl Flynn's.
Yes, it was. Remember the pool with the
Earl
graffiti?
Eddie and I used to run around there all the time.
Well, I lived right there, but only for the first 6 months, and then I had a roommate then, and then I moved on my own to
That
Fuller
was
Avenue.
the first street Tony and I lived on when we were together was Fuller. We were right above.
Oh, wow.
We were below. No, we were above Hollywood.
Yeah, it's at the top.
Yeah.
The top. It's at the top of where Rock and Roll Ralph's is.
Yes, yeah. Oh my God. I'm sure we ran into each other.
Probably.
Oh my God. That's so wild.
Wow.
Did you guys ever go to Coconut Teaser at that time?
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause
Yes,
I didn't go there on a regular basis because I lived in Studio City, Sherman Oaks area, so it was kind of a hop over the hill. But I went to Coconut Teaser multiple times, and what a weird, on a
It
different
was
night,
very odd.
completely different. I saw a punk rock
I
band
hadn't
play.
thought of it since you brought it up.
Huh?
I
Was
went
it
once.
Pink? Was it Pink?
Yes.
Yeah. It was at Laurel Canyon.
Yeah,
Laurel
yeah,
Canyon
yeah.
and Sunset.
And it was pink. It was very pink.
It was
Yeah.
weird. I wouldn't argue that it was pink. I don't remember, but
Or
it,
like,
yeah, it stood for it,
yeah.
yeah.
Is
But
that,
it was fun back then. I hate going in there now, but back then
Yeah.
it was.
oh,
Is it still there?
Yes. No. That isn't there, but it's
something else?
the restaurant now.
The place. What was the Roxbury? Did you ever?
Yes, Roxbury.
Yeah.
I played at the Roxbury a couple of times, and that place is a trip. The
Yeah.
one time we played, so it was my original band I was in with Paul, and we played, I think downstairs, and then afterwards I was still there. So I went up to the very top. So two things I happened to me at Roxbury, not happened, but I saw. One, I was walking up the stairs and this guy with long blonde hair and wearing no shirt and wearing a suit went by, and I looked at the guy behind me. I said, "Who the fuck was that?" And he
Was
goes,
that Rod Stewart?
"That's Fabio." It's
Fabio.
So Fabio. So I passed Fabio, in there. And then the craziest thing was that I figured out with Bobby Eakes that
Oh yeah, that was wild.
because I first moved to Studio City and she played at a place called Sash, and that was the closest place to my house, so I used to go to Sash all the time.
I've heard of that.
I fully saw her play with the band. I became friends with her, the guitar player in the band. And
Wow, small world.
I knew her for a long time before we talked
They
about it.
finally
And
realized
I was
they
like,
knew each other before.
I've seen you play at Sash, like in the late '80s or whatever it was.
Wow. We got to get back to the questions.
Oh, I know. We've been bad.
No. It's this is perfect for me because I can make this into multiple.
I know. It's like, yeah.
But for me, I grew up. I think it's perfect where I grew up because of where I am now. I grew up in the Catskills where most everyone got their start. All the celebrities, the comedians, the singers. I mean, I've been with Don Rickles, not been with.
I was going to say.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed by Don Rickles.
I've been with Don Rickles. He
Ew.
insulted me the whole time.
That's funny to listen.
I've been with that old man. No.
I was going to say he scored.
And Wayne Newton pulled me into his limo. So I've got great stories too, but I feel like I grew up in an area where I was meant to be here because now
It's like pre-Hollywood.
Yeah, pre-Hollywood.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to be an actress. I knew I couldn't do it because I didn't have the personality. So I became a psychologist and then a teacher. So there's my thing. We all know. Tristan, did you always want to be an actor?
No.
No. Oh, wait. Okay, say what you're going to be because I have a question that goes back to your Australian time.
You wanted to
I
rock
wanted
it
to
out.
work in the automobile industry,
Oh,
and my father had a great job all lined up for me at General Motors.
In
And
Australia?
unfortunately, I couldn't get the qualifications.
in Australia?
I couldn't get the math.
General
They
Motors.
required that.
So General Motors was building in Australia?
Well, they were then. They just closed it down after like 50 years.
No. No.
They don't build any cars back there anymore.
No.
Wow.
My dad worked for Delco Electronics, and that was owned by General Motors.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
I didn't
another company back there, part of General Motors, called NASCO, NASCO. NASCO produced all of the accessories for Holden's. Holden's was like an Australian Chevrolet. It was different, but it was similar. And, Dad ran the transport company, which dealt with all the vehicles there.
Wow.
And during holidays, over their school holidays, I was hired to, thing they set up called the drive-away team. And the drive-away team was, basically a group of people would turn up and get into vehicles and drive them straight to the dealerships. This circumvented them having to load them on a truck and take them maybe a day to get there. We could do it like that, and we could shift like 3 or 4 times. And all of the other people were women. I was the only kid there, So consequently,
How old were you?
I was 18. I was one of the only people in my group that had a driver's license,
Oh, wow.
because I was about 6 months ahead of everybody else. And then when I got my license, it was a big deal, actually. I got my license, and then literally the next week after that, they brought in what was called P plates. P plates stood for probationary, and you had to have that plate on your vehicle. And it was a real prestigious thing not to have to worry about the P plate.
Wait, so
The girls liked that. They thought, they would ask, well, you got a driver's, okay, you got a car, okay. Is that a P plate on the back there? Oh, well, thanks anyway.
Wait, so P plate meant you just got your license or
He
something?
played. Man,
You had to have it for a year. Yeah, no
what age?
problems.
What age could you get your license in Australia?
18.
Wow.
Is that still like that now?
He's like, I don't
I
know.
think it's still like it in Victoria.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Well, that's
But
not.
I was lucky. I mean, I got in there, I did my work on it, and I knew I had one shot at this, because if I didn't get it that time, I was going to have to line up and get a P plate like everybody else. But I
Wow.
got it today. And I remember my father said, "You got your license? Okay.
Wow.
Here's the company car.
They can't see your hand.
Here's the company car.
There's keys.
Don't bend it."
You can't see it.
He's
but there's
over
keys.
here.
So
Wow.
I had a lot of responsibility right at the beginning. You know, my father had a company car with the company scrawled all over it.
Was he disappointed that you didn't go into that? Was he disappointed?
I didn't break it or anything, didn't do anything bad to it, but I had it to drive around whenever he got home.
That wasn't.
No, was he disappointed that you didn't go into that business?
Yeah, that was a bit of a problem,
Oh, sorry.
especially when I went into the business that I ultimately went into.
Okay, so here's this question. So when you were in the music scene, what are some of your best memories of the artists then? And who are some of the bands that you hung out with?
We seem to be constantly paired up with the Easy Beats.
The
Easy Beats?
Easy Beats.
Yeah. Easy Beats had, well, I didn't have that song out yet, Friday on My Mind. I didn't have that out until I got to
They did happy.
London, but we did a lot of shows with the Easy Beats.
Oh my
We were
God,
the
Rick did one of their songs.
I think Easy Beats did Happy. I'll Make You Happy. And
Yes.
Rick Springfield covered that song.
I remember that.
I didn't know that for a long time, and I pulled up Easy Beats version
love
of "I'll Make You Happy,"
his
and it's
cover.
awesome.
But I love
Yeah.
the cover too.
But their version of it is really great.
I mean, they were a
They're a
fantastic
great band.
group. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any fond memories other than that. It was not a great time for me. And then I kind of morphed into doing commercial work, modeling work. And then that morphed into acting work. But I still had no real commitment to it. To me, it was just a job,
Wow.
a well-paying job, but a job nonetheless. And it wasn't really until I got to London after doing a series back in Australia, which was The Linkmen. And that was full of all manner of political turmoil. I mean, it was not the happiest situation. And after that, I said, I am done with this country. I'd saved all my money, hadn't spent it. I said, I'm going to London. Bang, I'm going to go there and start from scratch.
Right.
And I did. And, you know, because you get to London, I started getting a lot of modeling work, but modeling work, they're paid really super well. And then you would,
Wait, what was really super well back then? $10 a week?
no, that was Australia.
Well, but that only matters with what $10 a week buys you.
It was about £12 an hour, which back then was about $25-30.
So they paid you by your weight, how much you weighed?
Oh God.
Yeah.
And he was really thin, so he didn't get paid a lot.
That's funny.
No,